Hey guys, Clover here. Most of you guys will probably be watching this after the stream because it's so late in America. But this is a cool little spot. This is the Hyatt here in Saigon. Really nice. Just giving you a peek of kind of where I'm at. There's a really cool bar right here. Like I went and had lunch right there. Cool spot. A lot of people speaking that proper English. Oops. Oh. Spilled my water. Bear with me one sec. Had a couple of different things I wanted to talk about. Currently, like, you know, the big thing, you know, again, this kind of vlog that I'm doing for the month of May, the big trending thing that we've been seeing right now has been the smart contract space, and so that's something I've been kind of documenting my process with. So I'll show you guys here today. This was not a good day. It was probably my worst day so far. I had 0.14 in ETH, and so you can see, like, I have all the different contracts zeroed out that I didn't make like 10 bucks in, and so I'll just let those compound and sit in those accounts. So there's only 3 accounts that I had that I got payouts from, and so I can kind of zoom out a little bit here, but those 3 are Proof of Week Hands, Gandhi, and the Craig Grant Now, CG Now. CG Now was the one I had the largest payout at 0.08. So because of the higher entry fees and exit fees, even just a little bit of volume in that contract pays out really well. So I think that this Gandhi contract is really interesting. I put a little bit more in here, so I put another ETH in. I'm really interested in like the marketing that they have in India, and like, let me jump in their Discord a little bit. This is their Discord. Like, they have some really interesting, like, the administrators in there have Google Analytics set up, and so you can see, like, they're posting some, you know, some infographics of kind of where the activity is. There's a lot of activity in India. There's a lot of YouTubers that are actually supporting it. So you got YouTubers, and so there's some more. You got me in there. They got some more like Indian YouTuber personalities that are starting to get into this and talking about it. And so I think in terms of like the smart contract space, you're going to see it grow in certain areas and certain markets. And I think it's just starting to become adopted in some of those areas. But as far as like right now, the market as a whole has been retracting. And so I kind of wanted to show that to you guys. You know, basically what I did here is I'm monitoring some of the primary factors. So this first one is volume. And so you can see, like, right here is the volume that we had today, which is 45, which was a little bit more than yesterday. But, you know, we saw some heavier volume, like, on the weekend there. And, you know, if you zoom out, we have some volume kind of, like, peaking at different times. I think right now you're seeing volumes have decreased, and so you're seeing the balances continue to decrease. So there's still a tremendous amount of holders and Proof of Week Hands. But these ones right here are still holding some of their balances, but this is the ones over 100. So this is the Gandhi contract at 135, Proof of Devon James at 355, and ETH Phoenix, which dropped down, you know, was kind of holding in that 190 spot, that 200 spot. It's dropped down to 145. So you can see the collective balances still, you know, 6,100, but continuing to kind of drop a little bit. And then you can see here, this is the daily active users. So the daily active users increased, you know, on that, you know, kind of weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you can see it's kind of dropped here in the midweek, which is kind of what we saw the week before. And the week before, again, we also saw the volumes and balances, the volumes kind of dissipate right here on the weekends. So that's something to keep in mind, is that is going to be kind of a fluctuating trend in the market, and so you can take that into your take that to your advantage if you're thinking that that might be a smart play for what you want to do in this space. I think, you know, right now is the proof of Sunny Decree. So they're going to keep getting YouTube in it. I'm pretty sure Sunny Decree doesn't have anything to do with this, and right now it's like going to like a backup site. But it has 1 ETH, and it had like a little bit more. Let me see if I can refresh. It had more in here, and it looks like there was like a sellout, or I guess we can't pull up the I can't pull up charts, but there was a few other ones. What was the other one that I was? Oh, where was that? Give me a sec here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. EtherX. Yeah, I'm in the Halo 3D Discord, so I've been looking at that one as well. This is EtherX, so I believe, I'm not 100% on this, but I believe that this this was built by Kenny Dang. If you get into their Discord here, let's see. He's offline. But again, it's hard to know, like, if these if you know, if some of this stuff in Discord is real, or, you know. But here's the Kenny Dang. So Kenny Dang is in EtherX and Halo 3D, at least the ones matching what I'm in. So just be cautious on those. But yeah, I'm in the Halo 3D chat. So I don't know. I'm interested in kind of getting around here. Mainly, I kind of been in a Ghani one. I'm interested in kind of what Ghani's doing in Hindi and some of these other languages, and to see if that's something that's gonna grow in that space. Because, like, as far as the smart contract space, like, I wish we had more data on proof of weak hands, because I believe that has a pretty big international appeal. But again, like, if you're looking at proof of weak hands, like, typing in like the main website, PoWH.io. Okay, this is the main website. Now, I don't know if other people are having a different experience, but let this load here. The internet's a little slow. Killed my train of thought there. I was trying to show you guys when the website loads. I'm not sure why it's taking so long. I got to get internet. There we go. So when you come into the main website, okay, you know, everything's in English. You have home, you have community, you have decentralized exchange, you have wiki, you got a shill kit. Now I hear they're going to be doing an overhaul to their website with the introduction of FOMO 3D. Those are just rumors. You know, even if we come over here, like, they have some different stuff, but nowhere on here, at least for me, is there any kind of translator. Like, is there any way for me to click on this and turn it into Korean or do anything like that? What I would have to do is I would have to have a plugin that could do that I could translate this page. What I want to translate it, okay, I want to translate this to, you know, Korean. All right, it's still not like really like the same kind of translation. So you can see, and some of the things don't translate, you know. Now you can do that, but that's not necessarily saying that people are going to do that. Now, sometimes when I come onto these websites, it knows, it picks up my IP address and knows that I'm in Vietnam and will, like, automatically do it for me. But, you know, again, that's kind of like, it's kind of one of those setting things that it may seem minor, but that can be a big hurdle for people in other countries to actually see this, recognize it, understand it, and be wanting to get into it. Like, I think we're going to start seeing that more and more. But you know, again, like, that's why I'm really liking the Ghani contract, is because it's very it's set up, it's simple. It, you know, graphically it looks good. But we've got English, we've got Hindi, we've got Chinese, and it's fast, it's quick, it translates it. Now, it's maybe not necessarily like going to explain it. So like if we go into, like, I guess you can go into the community, but the thing is like and the community goes to the Facebook page. The community is at this point, it's really YouTubers that are talking about it when you search for it, and a lot of those people are in India. So CG Now, like I just, one of the things I really like about CG Now is there is a stats page here where you can see like the token holders, and it's up to date, it's accurate, and it's giving you some data. It's a little bit simpler. Like the big thing with some of this is the PoW3D.eu, kind of more of an analytical page, giving you a bunch of information here. There's a lot of information. It might be too much. I mean, when you look at something like CG Now and you're looking at how it's set up, it's very simple, and it really gives you the main kind of thing a lot of people are wanting to know when you're looking at that. So it's a little simpler in that sense. It gives you an idea of your share, and you can see like Craig has the most coins. He had like 20,000 at one point. Now he's got 13,000. So he's given away like 7,000 of his coins, you know. And I mean, if you want to buy these, right now they're $1, right? They're $1. So there was a guy behind me being nosy. But he's given away a lot, and I think that what he's doing and some of the plans that he has, I think is going to be really good, especially for the English-speaking North American market. So, what's interesting now? I thought this was kind of cool. This is the consensus, the big thing kind of going on in cryptocurrency right now. So consensus is kind of billed as like this large, you know, one of the largest, you know, blockchain events, but it is primarily North American. You know, there's only 3% from Asia, you know, 1%. It's North American, maybe some Europeans, but you can see the attendance has grown. You know, they have a lot of people going to this, you know, different industries. So, but yeah, that's going on right now. You know, one of these years I'm going to probably want to go to that, but you know, a lot of the blockchain events are very similar in a sense where, you know, I think this one's a little bit different because it has a lot more, has bigger names, at least in the North American market, that are kind of going to it. There's some big ones out here in Asia. I'd like to go to more. And one of the ideas that, you know, I had was to do more traveling, so I want to get set up so that I have the ability to do that. I'd like to kind of make it out to at least like like one blockchain event a quarter, maybe. So best passive income right now, mining. You know, I mean, mining would be one, because this is a little bit more like the smart contracts can kind of be seen as like, you know, you're wanting to get into it for long-term gains, but it can be kind of like a short-term game right now with so much change in what's been going on. So people getting in and out of contracts left and right, you know. So but I'm you know, for me, this is more of a kind of a long-term thing, and also something I want to get into and understand a little bit more. I'm meeting with a developer tomorrow, and two other of my I've got two American friends that I met out here, and they're kind of partnering up with a mining company, the Osama mining company that I've been doing videos on, or I've been kind of talking about. I've got some videos I got to put out, but I want to get more into learning about writing smart contracts and working with developers that also know it a lot better than me. I'm taking a course in June to learn more about coding, and so it's going to allow me to to work with those guys a little bit more. And I think, you know, one of the things I've been mentioning quite a bit in 2017, especially in the fall, was I was really interested in going to India and finding developers out there. In my opinion, I think Indians are some of the best developers. But you know, everyone's, I guess, entitled to their own opinion. But I've had some experiences working with them in the past. I think that they have a different skill set. But I need to be able to learn to kind of communicate better as to what it is I want. And but we were having some interesting discussions about taking, you know, existing coins, you know, that are on CoinMarketCap, and tying those into smart contracts. So that kind of brings a whole other element when you think about it. Like, this is something that's going to grow. So, you know, imagine, you know, you're taking some of these coins that are trending in the top, you know, in the top 10. Now, one of the things, you know, I wanted to talk to you about is I'm sorting this by volume right here. All right. And one thing you notice when you kind of look in, you know, at the list of these coins that are doing the most volume, they're all pretty much in the top 10. Right. So this is kind of the thing we're seeing with the volumes, and this was kind of a historical thing we've also seen. So taking some of the coins that have the most volume and potentially tying those into to smart contracts. We're seeing that with Ethereum, but you know, you could potentially, you know, this EOS is supposed to be kind of like a next generation Ethereum. And it's supposed to solve some of the, you know, the underlying scalability issues with Ethereum, the way I'm understanding it. Perhaps that is something that perhaps that's something that has some potential for kind of like some of the next steps that we'll see in the space. But you know, as far as the decentralized application space, I mean, just taking a look at DeFi Radar, you know, mainly it's been the exchanges that have been at the top. So the top 3 being exchanges. So I think one of the next things that we'll see is somehow tying these exchanges, or even a coin associated with exchange. So like IDX is Aura, Bancor's got their own coin, Fork Delta doesn't have a coin. But perhaps, you know, another step that we'll see in this space is tying in maybe some of the smart contracts into the exchanges that are dealing with altcoins. These IDX, well, let's take a look at IDX real quick. If you're looking at these exchanges, these are a little bit different than your traditional exchanges. They're not necessarily doing those coins that are in the top 10 we were talking about. Like if we're looking at they're still doing volume. Like this one is doing, you know, 19 million in volume. PoWH, which has been one that I wanted to get into. This Holo, Hot, which got into the other day. Zebi, Matrix, these are all great coins to get into. This one's new for me, this Policy Pal, even this Republic Protocol. I mean, I don't know some of these ones, kind of going down the list, but you don't see these coins. Doesn't mean you can't, you know, trade them. You know, they're just, like you can see EOS here. EOS, maybe a few others. PoWH, let's take a look at PoWH. Looks like it's kind of like a point of sale application you have on your phone. Got a lot of press behind it, apparently. They're dealing with other currencies here. See this, the point of sale, POS. So mobile payments, point of sale. So there's, you know, better ways to do some of these applications. But looks promising. It's number one. It's been doing really well. Let's take a look at the charts, because this has been one that's like, if you're looking at like, you know, what have been the coins that have been really skyrocketing in value lately, it's been these coins in these markets. You know, if you had bought in here, May, you know, where we was, I'm not getting the best data on here, 47, 46, you know, 45, you know, it came all the way up. It almost tripled in value. Yeah, it's a good one to get into. A lot of volume. It's trading in a lot of exchanges. So you can see like, but I don't know much about CoinRail, IDX, Bancor, so on these decentralized exchanges. DDX is another decentralized exchange. But yeah, this must be the international market. I know I don't got any Americans on my stream. This place is pretty cool though. Yeah, it's some event over here. Can Nano overtake Bitcoin, or be overtaken to accomplish it? Well, we're going to see the flipping happen at some point in history. I think a lot of people are theorizing that we might have saw it, you know, last year with Ethereum. That's kind of what I was thinking. I thought we were going to see the flipping with Ethereum last year, but it didn't quite happen. Perhaps if there's a use case scenario behind another coin where it's receiving that amount of volume, I think one of the things you're seeing is what's driving volume on some of these coins. And lately, you know, there's been a lot more use cases for Ethereum. And that's why you're seeing it like pretty much second in volume, you know, for the most part, at least on average. And that's why it's, you know, the valuations has continued to remain high. But as far as like, you know, another coin like Nano, it's a little bit further down the list. What is it? $30th. And it's come down quite a bit. Like it really peaked. I remember it, you know, doing really well here back in that kind of that early January time frame, like a lot of other coins that kind of boomed right in that spot before the sell-off. Yeah, I don't see it overtaking Bitcoin. Like, something's going to overtake Bitcoin though. You know, like it's hard to predict what that's going to be in terms of its market cap. Like, even if you're looking at this, I mean, there's a couple of different ways of looking at this. Like, if Ethereum's price doubles, right? So it becomes a 1460 right here. If Ethereum is 1460, the market cap doubles and roughly overtakes Bitcoin. That doesn't necessarily mean that the price per Ethereum, like the actual coin price, is overtaking, you know, Bitcoin. It's kind of a different way of looking at it. So like, you could either see that the price is kind of irrelevant, or that we're just going to look at the market cap, and you know, the circulating supply with Ethereum is much higher. If we look by price, if we sort by price, I mean, Bitcoin Cash, I don't know some of these other ones, Maker, Mixin, with the price per coin. And then of course you have another portion of the market that's kind of more like penny coins, or something like, you know, where there's be something a little bit more similar to Nano. So maybe something like this with a you know, a larger circulating supply, because that's typically the case with some of these. We just recently saw Bitcoin come way up. But this is just looking at the top 100. Tron's another one. Cardano, I mean, these are still pretty cheap. Stellar, Lumens. But those ones, their market cap could get to a point where it could rival Bitcoin. When was the P3D snapshot for FOMO 3D? Drops on Friday. Got any huge potential to get Satish involved? Yeah. If I could get a hold of Satish, man, I wish I could. Maybe he already knows about it. Who knows? You know, one of the things that they were doing with BitConnect was like they were really trying to kind of educate people on the kind of the staking process. So staking, even with BCC, was kind of complicated to a point where you really had to be a techie to kind of get into it. I mean, just give you a perfect example. Like I have BCC staking on my laptop. I got it working at one point. It's not working anymore. And like I know I got to update it and whatnot, but like the price is so low, like I don't really. It's not worth my time really to get staking running on my computer because the price is so low. What is the price? $1. It's been at $1 pretty much. Boom, you saw really kind of flatline. There's been rumors thrown around that one of the things that I'm not ruling out is like waiting for the price of Bitcoin to come up to some of those levels that we saw at the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, perhaps with a much larger valuation with the Bitcoin. Maybe the developers behind BitConnect would have the ability to kind of like make things right. You get into a situation where like maybe they come back and they're like, okay, well, unfortunately we had legal issues. We had to shut down for a while. But we've worked things out, or we've come to some sort of resolution, and we're willing to refund and honor the price of 363 in the coins and Bitcoin. So you could sell your BCC for 363 or something like that. If that were to happen, immediately the price goes from $1 to 363, right? So because it's worth that if you're going to cash that out into Bitcoin. So then all of a sudden your coins have value. There's a market for it, should they decide to come back. Same thing is kind of, like a lot of people have been asking me about, BitConnect X, like their exchange. Like this is one of the things that they were, supposed to be kind of doing. Taking some time to load. But like I haven't seen any changes, and there's no like Discord or or any kind of like media out there that's like, there's a lot of scams. There's a lot of people saying, hey, send your coins here, we'll give you money for them or something, and then just it's just a scam. But I wish that there was some more communication with things with something. I mean, this was January, this all happened, and it was, pretty much nothing. Here we are in the middle of May. So, but, it's your top 5 coins. I like these ones that are trending in IDX. So the PundyX, Matrix, I actually kind of wrote them down pretty much. Like, I need to get into these a little bit more, but these are some of my top ones that I want to get into that are on my list. So there's Matrix AI, PundyX. I still need to do some more research on this one. I don't know enough about it, but it's had a ton of volume. The Aura coin, EOS, Vertasum, I already got it in some hot. And the other one was this Bancor one. I got I've got that, but I gotta add that to the list. Bancor. And then I was also documenting my like living expenses to kind of see how that was gonna pan out. But right now, the market, everything's kind of down in the space. Then that means dividends are down until we get some things that kind of hit the market that drive some consistent volume in these contracts, where you have a little bit more of consistency with dividend earnings. I mean, like, I've been doing really well with CG now, but there's like not a whole lot of volume. Like, it's not going to be one that's going to get a lot of volume because of the high dividends, but it was doing a ton of volume here not too long ago. So here's the CG now. You can see the volume right here. And so, like, you know, May 2nd, it was like, I mean, there was a ton of volume here. I put the 141 there because that's just like it started and it went to that height in the contract. Wasn't able to really verify that, but there was, you know, there was 141 in the contract, and then, you know, you've seen it come down. So it was doing, you know, 3 days, started dropping. Now you're kind of seeing it really start to come down a little bit. So again, like, there's going to be some different things, tactics, if you want to look at it that way, or some different angles of looking at getting it to drive volume into these contracts, and that's going to be the next thing that we're going to see, I think. That's why, like, I think if you can bridge the gap, between the smart contract space and some of the major market altcoins, maybe not the ones that I just mentioned or the ones I'm wanting to get into, but, you know, maybe some that are in the top 10, where maybe you're able to, I don't know, but there's some potential there. I think that a lot of people are looking, like, a lot of people have crypto, especially people that follow me. There's a lot of people that have crypto, and you kind of want a safe place to, like, almost like a savings account or something, like a safe place you can put your coins where you can actually make, you know, consistent earnings, you know, off of those coins. That was kind of a big theme in 2017 in the form of lending programs, which really have lost all credibility in the cryptocurrency space. You don't see any really anymore. Might be a few out there that are still consistent. I think I've heard of a few, but decentralized applications, smart contracts that don't have to answer to a government. Like, this is where the space is going. I don't even know how much they're talking about that at Consensus, you know? I'm sure there's a few speakers that are going to get up there and talk about it. Maybe we'll see some videos on it. But a lot of people are kind of pitching their, you know, their projects, like their coins, like the ones that they believe in, like, you know, and they're, you know, we might see the cryptocurrency space change a lot. You know, if you have ICOs, which has really flooded the scene, like, there's so many ICOs to look at and consider.